Hello, I am Dr. Ila Shukla. Today's presentation would cover about the assessment of new antibiotic. It is a very important topic under pharmaceutical microbiology. So, let us start with the content. So, this slide would be covering about why antibiotic assessment has to be done, what is the susceptibility to antibiotics, why when we say that the particular organism is susceptible to antibiotic, what does that mean, antibiotic susceptibility test, what are the tests for that, minimum inhibitory concentration, what is the concept of MIC, then minimum bactericidal concentration test, then inhibitory concentration test, then inhibitory concentration test determine क्या करता है, then the tube dilution test, what is it, dilution in the liquid broth, what does that mean, what is E-test, why E-test is to be done, and what is the results or the outcomes, how we read the E-test. So, let us start with the first slide, that is why antibiotic assessment has to be done. So, the responsibility of microbiology laboratory includes not only microbial detection and isolation, but also the determination of the microbial susceptibility to antimicrobial agents. माइक्रोबायोलॉजी की जब हम बात करते हैं तो इट इज़ नॉट लाइक वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स ओनली और वी जस्ट हैव टू टेल दैट दिस इज द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन अ पर्टिकुलर एनवायरमेंट. That doesn't mean that we have to study or we have to find out what is the susceptibility of different organisms or the bacteria or the fungi or any other organism to a particular kind of antimicrobial agent. Many bacteria in particular have unpredictable susceptibilities to antimicrobial agents, and their susceptibilities can be measured in vitro to help guide selection of the most appropriate antimicrobial agents. Why we need to study or define the susceptibility of the microorganism? Because it would help us to define the type of antibiotic which need to be prescribed by the different doctors. Because if we do not know the particular kind of microorganism is susceptible to which kind of antibiotic, we will not be able to find out the medication that will be clearing out that infection, and if we give a broad spectrum antibiotic, that may happen, that may lead to the resistance development in different organisms. So, for that purpose it is very important for us to determine the susceptibility of the microorganism. So, what is susceptibility to antibiotics? The term susceptible means that the microorganism is inhibited by a concentration of the antimicrobial agent that can be attained in the blood with normally recommended dose of the antimicrobial agent, and implies that an infection caused by this microorganism may be appropriately treated with the antimicrobial agent. When we talk about the susceptibility of a microorganism, that means that in a particular antimicrobial agent is present in that environment, in that culture or in that place or in our body, then that particular microorganism will not be able to flourish or will not be able to grow. So, when it happens, we say that the particular microorganism is susceptible to the presence of such and such antimicrobial agent. And with this, what we infer, what we derive, what we will understand by this concept is that we will define that, okay, fine, that this is such like microorganism A is susceptible to antibiotic B. That means the antibiotic B can be prescribed for that particular microorganism. So, what is susceptibility to antibiotics? It was, this slide defined what does that mean. It is defining when we say susceptibility, then what is the resistance to something. The term resistant indicates that the microorganism is resistant to concentrations of antimicrobial agent that can be attained with the normal doses, and implies that an infection caused by the microorganism could not be successfully treated. When we say that particular organism is resistant to a antimicrobial agent, that means the concentration which can be given to a human being or to a person to treat a particular disease that is being caused by that organism will not be corrected or will not be treated with that antimicrobial agent. Why? Because that organism has got resistant to it. उस पे कोई असर ही नहीं होगा दवा का. So, the next slide says about the antibiotic susceptibility test. So, how we find out that what are the susceptibility measures, or what are the level of susceptibility of different microorganisms? We need to perform such tests to find out it. So, first is the minimum inhibitory concentration of the MIC, the smallest concentration of the antibiotic that inhibits the growth of organism. What we do, we find out the minimum concentration that will be inhibiting the growth or the population of a particular microorganism. This is the one measure how we define the susceptibility. Another is we use liquid media or the tube dilution method. जो कि MIC के एस्टिमेशन में हेल्प करता है. देन योर सॉलिड मीडिया, इट कुड बी डिस्क डिफ्यूजन. इफ इट इज सॉलिड मीडिया, इट इज डिस्क डिफ्यूजन. सो डिस्क डिफ्यूजन could be Kirby Bohr or E-test, or it could be like allow the MIC estimation. Beta lactamase production, we can also check if there is beta lactamase production or not. Like beta lactamase is an enzyme which is produced by the microbes. If we give a particular antimicrobial agent and the bacteria is not able to synthesize that beta lactamase, that means the metabolic machinery of the bacteria is being hampered. That means the microorganism is susceptible to a particular antibiotic or antimicrobial agent. So, this slide is showing the antibiotic susceptibility test. You can see in the first figure, here is a susceptible organism. Antibiotic susceptibility test, minimum inhibitory concentration test is being done. Different dilutions are placed, like in the first 0 antibiotic is there, some concentration is there, the concentration is doubled, then again doubled, then again doubled. This is how you can see the maximum number of microorganisms are here, lesser are here, more lessened and almost absent in these dilutions. This is the disk diffusion test. We have placed this, we have made a center into it. You can see this. We have made a hole into the culture media. We have placed that antimicrobial agent into it, and the microorganisms, you can see the here in this area. You can see the growth is not there. The number of cells, of the microorganisms are less. It is a representation. The slide or the plate does not look like this, but it is a representation. How you will understand? The cells are not present here. They have moved out of it. So that means the organism, in this case, the organism is susceptible to that given antibiotic. But in the next test, if the organism is resistant, what happens? We do the dilution, 0 dilution, we doubled it, we again doubled it, we doubled it to the 16 times. Then what happened? The microorganism is not being removed from here. That means the organism is not at all susceptible. कोई असर नहीं है दवा का उस ऑर्गेनिज्म पे. अब हमने जब डिस्क डिफ्यूजन टेस्ट किया तो क्या किया हमने उसमें, अगेन वी हैव बोर्ड अ होल इनटू दैट कल्चर मीडिया, we place the antimicrobial agent into it, but you can see in this area, you can compare now. Here the number of cells is not there, the cells are very reduced or they are absent from that area. Here the cells are present. That means the organism is completely resistant to it. It is unaffected with the presence of antibiotic. Then what is minimum inhibitory concentration? It is very important concept in this pharmaceutical microbiology while we are studying about the susceptibility of an organism. So, minimum inhibitory concentration is the smallest concentration of an antimicrobial agent that inhibit the growth of bacteria. Like in the previous slide, we can say this is the minimum concentration which is actually inhibiting, which is completely inhibiting the growth of the microorganism. So, what the smallest concentration that is required for an organism to be completely inhibited is called as minimum inhibitory concentration. Minimum means less, inhibitory means that no more growth would be there. The value is obtained in a highly mechanized fashion, but this procedure only provides interval censored reading. Since we are doubling it, so it is like it is not exactly appropriate. Like if we double it from 4 to 8, like in the previous slide. In 4 to 8 we have doubled the concentration, but the gap here, you can see the gap here. What happened? We have doubled the concentration. Maybe the inhibitory concentration could be here in between. Maybe it could be like near to this only, a slight increase in this concentration would have inhibited the growth. So, it is not that appropriate, it is in a mechanized fashion. So, it is often of interest to use the data collected from the complex experiment to see how the mean MIC is affected by different factors. So, we consider different factors to find out if the MIC is being affected with that or not. Then what is the principle behind MIC? The tube dilution test is standard method for determining the levels of resistance of an antibiotic. Usually tube method is done, as you can see in this. We have placed the organism in the tube, we have added the antibiotic into it. So, it is a tube method, it is very easy for us to use. Then the serial dilution of the antibiotics are made, as I just shown you in the figure, the serial dilution is made. One by one we are diluting this whole content of the tube. Then in the liquid medium which is inoculated with a standardized number of organisms and incubated for a prescribed time. Serial dilution करते हैं हम लोग, ट्यूब में ऑर्गेनिज्म को प्लेस किया हमने, उसमें हमने एंटीबायोटिक को ऐड किया. व्हाट वी डू इज नाउ वी स्टार्ट डबलिंग द कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ द एंटीमाइक्रोबियल एजेंट. वी नो द नंबर ऑफ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स इन द ट्यूब, we know the concentration that is being added to the tube, and then we slowly start diluting the tube till the growth is completely absent. The lowest concentration of the antibiotic preventing the appearance of the turbidity is considered to be minimal inhibitory concentration. How we will read the result of this MIC? The turbidity in the test tube would not be there. Turbidity refers to the production of substances, the presence of microbial cells. If the turbidity is not there, that means that no more microbial cells are present in it. So, we will define that as a MIC or minimum inhibitory concentration. So, these are the figures. You can see how the experiments are being done in the laboratory. Such kind of racks are used. You can see it is visible from here. It is turbid here while it is clear here. You can see it is turbid here, slightly it is getting clear here, turbid, clearer. Then the minimum bactericidal concentration or the lethal concentration of an antibacterial is defined as the maximum dilution of the product that will kill a test organism can be determined by subculturing last clear MIC tube onto the growth medium and examining the bacterial growth. How we find out the minimum bactericidal concentration is we culture the last MIC tube. That means we like turbidity is being cleared here. Here almost up to here there is no turbidity. We will take this tube and start to culture, and then after culturing it we will find out the concentration in it, the concentration of antibiotic used in it, and then accordingly we will define the bactericidal concentration. Serial dilutions are made of the products in the bacterial growth media. Bacterial growth media में ही serial dilutions हम antibiotic का करते रहते हैं. Then like here also you can see it is a medium we added. What happened in that previous experiment, since we were doubling the concentration, as I told you, maybe there is the interval in between would be the MIC. So, exactly we were not able to find out the MIC. For that purpose what we should do or what we do is that we add very little amount of antibiotic and then we incubate for growth. Incubate for growth means that we provide a proper environment for the organism to grow, so that we can find out whether the substance has affected the organism or not. For then the result what would be obtained is it was highly turbid, turbidity was lessened, and then there was a condition where the solution was completely clear. Where the solution was completely clear, that means that was the minimum inhibitory concentration. So, how bactericidal concentration is determined? You can see the bacterial colonies are here, and what we do, it was a clear MIC tube. We take out it, how we are finding out the bactericidal concentration is we have taken out the substance or the liquid from that MIC tube which was having clear fluid. We placed it in the culture media. Then we have taken the just next to that MIC tube 16-1, we taken and there were no colonies, and again the next one in the 25-1 no colonies. So, it was a drug free media. इस मीडिया में जो प्लेट में जो मीडिया आपको दिख रहा है उसमें कोई ड्रग नहीं था, तो इट वाज जस्ट टू मेक श्योर कि वेदर द विच कॉन्सेंट्रेशन वाज एग्जैक्टली हैविंग दैट जीरो नंबर ऑफ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स. वी डन दिस टेस्ट और जीरो नंबर ऑफ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स और वी कैन से विच वाज कंप्लीटली बैक्टीरियासाइडल. वी हैव डन दिस एक्सपेरिमेंट. Again, it is just a figure just to show you how laboratory experiments are being done. These are the turbid tubes. It is very clear to you. You can see these are the turbid tubes and these are the clear ones. As you can see here, the increasing concentration of the drug. As the drug concentration was increasing, the liquid started to get clear and the turbidity ended up to the last tube. So, minimum inhibitory concentration test determines what? The most commonly employed method are the test dilution method and the agar dilution method. These are the two methods, either it is tube dilution, either it is agar dilution. Agar dilution refers to we prepare the agar plates or either we can just directly place it into the tube. Test products that are not clear or precipitate the growth media are tested by agar dilution method, which is about the same as the tube dilution method, except the dilutions are plated on the agar. There is no difference in the tube dilution method or the agar dilution method. It is simply like in case of agar dilution method, agar plate is there. In case of tube dilution method, tube is there and the liquid broth is there, or the liquid substance is there. For the tube dilution method, we place the substance into the tube, and for the agar we just place the agar plate onto it. So, the tube dilution test determine the level of the microbial resistance to an antimicrobial agent. It is very clear from the previous things. Serial dilution of the test agent are made in a liquid microbial growth medium, which is inoculated with a standardized number of organisms and incubated for a prescribed time. How we do the this dilution, tube dilution test? We as I just shown you in the previous figures, we dilute it to the level where the turbidity ends. Turbidity ends means there would be no more growth of the microorganisms. So, that is the concentration which we will be taking up, like it is the MIC. So, the lowest concentration or we can see the highest dilution of the test agent preventing appearance of the turbidity growth is considered to be the minimum or the minimal inhibitory concentration. We were diluting the broth again and again. The concentration, the minimum concentration where the growth was absent or where the growth disappeared is referred to as minimal or the minimum inhibitory concentration. At this dilution, the test agent is bacteriostatic, but it is minimum inhibitory concentration. It has inhibited the growth. It is not like it has not killed the organism. So, it can be said that it is bacteriostatic. Static means that it has stopped the growth of bacteria. Coming to the next slide. So, this is the figure you can see, and this plate is the microditer MIC photo, and it is the post incubation that we have already incubated the substance, incubated the tubes with the microorganisms and the dilution. You can see here these are the clear tubes that are indicating that growth has been inhibited, and you can see here these are the turbid tubes. So, the E. coli is present here, and this is the another organism which was being tested. So, it was the Staphylococcus aureus. Cloudy tubes are indicating the growth here. This is the range of the dilution that are being analyzed over here. So, this is how the plate looks like when we are dealing with this liquid broth, and the point at which the growth is inhibited is equals to the point at which you can see this area. The turbidity is not there, that means the growth is not there. So, that means this is the area where the minimum inhibitory concentration can be recorded. So, dilution in the liquid broth, how it is done? These are these tubes in which the turbidity is there, the presence of microorganisms is clear. These are the tubes, how these look like. We dilute it accordingly. Cloudy tubes indicate the growth, and the point at which the growth is near about absent we take up as the minimum inhibitory concentration. I just place these figures to make you understand how these plates look like when we are doing such kind of MIC testing. So, what is E-test? E-test is based on arraying a concentration gradient of each antibiotic on a polymer strip. Concentration values are marked on the other side of the strip so that one can easily locate corresponding concentrations. What we do is, like, we have find out the MIC concentration, we have done different dilution tests. What we do in the MIC concentration, we dilute the particular broth again and again, we maintain that dilution for a longer duration, we culture it again and again. So, for that, from that what we derive is the concentration that is basically required to inhibit the growth of particular bacteria. But what E-test is doing, E-test is helping us in finding out the particular range or particular area or the number of microorganisms that can be cleared by that particular antibiotic. Like E-test is based on the airing of the concentration gradient. We place a particular kind of concentration onto the plate. The complete plate is covered with the antibiotic, this culture of the bacteria or the microorganism which is being tested. We place the strip onto it, and then we find out what is the area that is being cleared out. The E strip is also known as epsilometers, like it is pH meters or the pH papers. Similar is the case of the E strip, as you can see here. I will show you just in some time. So, what concentration values are marked on the other side of the strip so that one can easily locate corresponding concentrations. You see the strip These are the concentrations that are being marked over it. Behind it is the number of concentration gradients that will be helpful in finding out the exact concentration that was able to clear out that particular organism. So, this is how the E strip is being used, and these E strips are called as epsilometers, and these are commercially prepared by the micro dispersing robotic machines that can deliver nanoliter volumes of the antibiotic concentration along the strips. So, what happens in this epsilometers is these are commercially prepared by the machineries, and very small amount of this antibiotic is included into it. This strip is carrying the particular kind of antibacterial agent, and these are the concentrations, like only like nanoliter of volume is capped onto it. Like if it is 32, only 32 is there, exact concentrations are being maintained, so that there is no variation in the study. It is pretty precise method for determining the concentration of the antibacterial agent. So, if it is 32, it would be 32 there. If it is 24, these are the concentrations that are being present on the strip. If we are talking about this means only 0.5 nanoliter of the antibiotic is present in this area. So, this is the epsilometer. This is the one test which we use for assessing the efficiency of the antibiotic for a particular antibacterial agent. So, before E-test we discussed about MIC and all, minimum inhibitory concentration and different tests. Like we were doing tube dilution method and we were doing agar plate method. So, in tube dilution the liquid broth was there, cells were suspended into it, and the antibiotic dilution was being done to find out the MIC concentration. While we were talking about the agar plate, if the solid agar, if we are talking about how we dilute it, we just place that agar plate onto the culture media, and the dilution would happen accordingly. So, then this is the E test. Then what MIC we have done, tube dilution we have done tube dilution as well as the solid agar plate dilution. Then this is the E test here. So, what is E test? Plastic strips with a predefined gradient of one antibiotic and one antifungal agent. So, in this E test or this epsilometer, there is one antibiotic. It could be we define this kind of antibiotic or what E strip has to be used according to the requirement of our microorganism. Like we have taken out the sample from some kind of patient which is which is suffering from typhoid. Then we take out the sample, we store it accordingly, we extract out the your Salmonella typhi from it, we will keep it there and we will culture it accordingly. Then what we will do, we will place this strip into that plate and we find out what is the area that is being cleared, and these are the different strips with the different antibiotic agents, so that we can find out its impact on the different microorganisms. So, there is one antibiotic and one antifungal agent. The reason being used, the reason that why it is being used in combination is most probably because while we are taking up this experiment for testing the antibiotic assessment is like if there is growth of one bacteria, there are chances that there could be contamination with the other ones also. So, just to avoid it, what we do is we add some kind of antifungal agent, so that the no other kind of contamination happens. And this as the figure is visible to you, what is happening here, this is the complete plate where the this culture of the bacteria or the organism which is being tested will be kept over it. This is the agar plate. We place the E strip accordingly. You can see the way how the strips are being placed. It is not like you can place it anywhere on the plate. It is not like that, because the area it clears out has to be different. Otherwise, we will not be able to read the results, because if we place a strip here, or either we can, if we place a strip here, the area being cleared will not be clear to us. We will not be able to read out what is the exact concentration at which the microorganisms were completely removed or completely their growth was stopped. So, for that purpose the strip has to be placed in a Y kind of pattern. You can see this, the one strip is placed actually in a Y pattern, all the 3 strips. You can see the drop kind of structure is being formed. More clearer area, less clearer area, less clearer area, and the minimal clearer area. So, this is the shape which forms after we place it on the your culture media. So, how we read it, only you see, I just explained some more about the e-test. Only one manufacturer, one strip per antibiotic, only one antibiotic is present in one strip. Wide range of antibiotics are used, many antibiotic strips are available for this kind of e-test. It is very easy to use, obviously it is a small strip, we need to keep it at the agar plate and the results are start coming up. Then the storage at minus 20 degrees Celsius, only thing that we need to keep in mind is the storage condition, because if the storage condition is not proper, the disintegration happens and the results would not be appropriate. Then also one problem with this strip is that it is a short shelf life. Shelf life refers to the time after which the product is not good to use. So, for that reason we need to purchase it again and again, we cannot store it for a longer term, and it is slightly expensive as well. Although all these things are minus, because it gives a good result, it gives a more appropriate result. So, this is how the e-test will look like on the agar plate. You can see it more clearly. As the numbering is clear, this is the nanoliter of the concentration, fine. Then what is happening? More concentration, more clearer area, less concentration, less clearer area. As the concentration is dropping down, the clearer area is dropping down. So, a leaf like pattern is formed. Moreover, you can see here that the point at which the line has ended, we can read it clearly. So, we can actually define the exact concentration of the antibiotic that was able to cure or that was able to clear the microbial agent from there, microbes from there. How we read the e-test? See, if the microorganisms are not being cleared here beyond this limit, that means they are resistant. If they are being cleared here, that means they are intermediate, and if they are being cleared here, that means they are highly susceptible. If the growth is being observed even in the red area, that means the resistant organism is there, the organism is completely resistant to that particular antibiotic. If the microorganism is being cleared in the middle range, that means the susceptibility is intermediate, that means it can be used or it cannot be used, like higher concentration of antibiotic can be used to clear that microorganism. If it comes further lower, that means only the slightest concentration can clear the microorganism, that means the organism is highly susceptible. So, you can understand, we go in a reverse direction, lowest concentration to highest one, lowest to the middle one is the susceptible. You can see the green patch, it is highly susceptible organisms, only a slightest concentration can help to cure it. If it goes beyond it, that means we need heavy doses of the antibiotic to cure clear the bacterial agent, and if it goes beyond it, that means that particular microbe is completely resistant to that antimicrobial agent. And it is a actual representation of the plate, how it looks like. So, this was all for today, and we learned about how we can assess the new antibiotic, how we can find out its susceptibility, how we can find out what kind of microorganisms are susceptible to particular kind of antibiotics. We have learned about the MIC, how we will find out MIC, what are the loopholes of MIC, what are the methods involved, and then we have studied about the e-test, the e-strip, also we call it epsilometer, which will help us to find out the exact concentration of the particular antibiotic for clearing out the bactericidal agent. So, thank you, that is all for today.